4-point kneeling, it's really important to make sure that you have your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, and your shoulder width and hand width apart. So I always just make sure that I'm completely underneath my shoulders by just leaning down, and the same with my hips. And once you're in 4-point kneeling, there's lots of things we can do. Most classic is the cat. So make sure you're in neutral spine, so remember your head is on top of your spine, so slightly higher. And you're going to just like drop the tailbone, arch into the lower back, let the lower back come up into the upper back, and then just drop the head. Engage here and take a breath in. Then as you breathe out, you're going to come through, back into neutral, pass through neutral, take the tailbone back and lift the head and come into the cow position. And then from the cow, you're going to come back into neutral and then back into cat. So I quite often do cat into cow to get clients just to mobilise their spine if we've been doing some movements lying down on our backs, just to mobilise and get the spine nice and fluid. So from the cat and cow, one of my favourite moves is threading the needle. So you take the hand and you place it palm sized up, and you turn the head first. Then you rotate at your rib cage, moving the spine to go through, and finally bend the standing elbow and the opposite hip. And then you're going to draw that back, bringing it all the way back, placing the hand down, and then you're just going to go to the other side. Moving the head first, ribs, spine, elbow, hip, and then come all the way back. This is a great movement if you sit at a desk all day. It will really help you stretch out your mid-spine, known as the thoracic spine. It's where the vertebrae are smallest, so they need a lot of work to get them to mobilise. And just evening off, maybe doing 3 or 4 each side. So from here, we can take it into tabletop. So we can either start just doing tabletop 1, which is just your legs, or take it into tabletop 2, slide, remember you're lengthening and lifting, holding, and then you're coming back without minimal movement within your torso. Just moving the shoulder and the hip. It's really great for mobilising these joints. And remember, it is a stability movement within the core, so you will be working your core and challenging that stability in your body. So just evening up, maybe doing 4 or 5 each side, and then when you've finished, just push your bottom back to your heels, reach the arms out just to stretch out the arms, and then you can bring the elbows onto the mat and do some wrist mobilisation just to take any pressure out of your wrists. So from 4-point kneeling, it's quite nice to take this into a tall plank, so we can do lots of different movements to challenge our upper body strength. So you can take one leg back and the other leg back, and then you take the foot to the floor and lift the leg up. So it's a more challenging movement on the core. And then do the opposite leg. And then come down and rest, because it is quite hard on the upper body. And then you can always take it into a side plank, taking the arm up, across the body, like we do in bow and arrow. And then just come down the knees and stretch out. You can take it into full child pose with your head down and really relax into that movement. So from here, I like to take my clients into a tall plank and get them to slowly lower down to challenge their upper body strength to the mat to come into prone. And we're going to start with diamond press. So you make a diamond with your fingers and you place the nose in the middle of the diamond, taking the hands out so that the shoulders are released on the back of the rib cage. You engage your tummy to protect your lower back, rolling the nose, just looking to the top of the mat, and then pressing into the elbows, you lift the chest, coming up into extension, and then bringing it down to the mat. So you can stay with diamond press, or if you want to challenge, you can bring yourself up with your hands and take it into diamond press salute. Stay up there, maybe do 4 to 6, and then come down and repeat the process. So you're up, extending the arm out, saluting away, and then come down. Then from here, classic Pilates move is Cobra, sometimes known as the swan and swan prep. You're going to roll the nose, lengthen the head like you just did with the diamond press. This time for the prep work, you're going to keep the elbows down, just lifting the chest off the mat, keeping the head on top of the spine, and then just bringing yourself all the way back down. If you've got a tight lower back, this will give you lovely extension without going into your lumbar. But if your back is good, you can take it into the full Cobra. So you come up, you press into the hands, you lift, lengthen, and as you come down, let that spine come down nice and slowly to the start position. So you roll the nose, engage and lift, and then come all the way down. Breathing can really help with this, so you breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, you lengthen and lift. Breathe in to hold, and breathe out to come all the way down. So keeping ourselves down in prone position, we're going to bring it into the dart, so the hands go behind us, the nose is resting on the mat, the big toes come together and the heels flop out. So you're literally just relaxed in this position. This movement is in 3 parts and I'm going to talk you through all 3. So you take a breath in. As you breathe out, you roll the nose, lengthen the head, lift the chest as you rotate the hands so they're facing towards your thighs. Squeeze the heels together as you squeeze your shoulder blades and your buttocks to get that lovely lengthening dart position. And then you just relax down on the out breath as you come down. So you breathe in, lengthen, lift, rotate, squeeze. And then as you breathe out, you come all the way down. So breathe in to prepare, breathe out to come up, breathe in to hold, and breathe out to come all the way down. And normally do 5 or 6 of those. And then come, hands to the chest, elbows up. You just tuck your toes under. You push yourself back into child pose, giving yourself a nice stretch at the upper arms as you come back, and then bring the head down, back into child's pose, releasing the shoulders, getting a few breaths here just to stretch out the lumbar that can get a bit tight when we're in prone position on our tongue.